Morning everyone. It's a Friday morning, about 7:30. I thought I'd just give a quick walkthrough of the property and show you everything that some of the things that we've been doing in the last few weeks. We're currently on the nature strip. This is where we planted the native garden at the front of our property. You might be able to hear the birds in the background. A lot of bird activity up here. So this was planted in 2016. Everything except this ginormous tree here. Because we've got like very heavy clay and rock for the soil, they haven't grown as quickly as they might have. We just dug little holes when we planted them in 2016. But I really like this area here. Got these ground covers that are covering a lot of this space now. All of this was tube stock when we started. So all of that is a ground cover now, which is awesome. I might go up this way. You might hear some cars in the background, can't help that. But it's great to see birds, coming and chirping, not chirping, but also perching on trees and shrubs that didn't used to be here. So we'll go through the property and show you the various sections and just some of the quick updates. I'll do bigger videos later, but just a quick update on what's been happening. So it's great to see these ground covers starting to take over the ground area. Eventually, hopefully we'll take up most of the space, and I won't need to mow, even though I enjoy the mowing because I can use the grass for compost. But by then I think we'll have a lot more biomass from our garden to build our compost. A number of these trees have like doubled in size in the last 12 months. You can see the lovely flowers on the trees. I'll take you quickly through the food forest. I did a video not that long ago, but give you a quick tour of that. So getting onto the property now. I'm going to have a potential frost next week, so I'm going to try that technique of covering the Luceana in straw and wrapping them up like people do with the moringa to protect them from the frost, just to see if they get through the winter in better condition, just so they've got a better chance. So you see this Luceana here. It's grown all of that, I think, in the last 6 months, I think. But by the time we get to the end of winter, this will be really affected by the frost, and they seem to have a hard time bouncing back from the frost. So yeah, I'll cover them and see what happens. This is the area where the eucalyptus platypus fell down. So I'm going to I planted a bamboo, and I'm going to plant another one over here, and just to screen this area here. I think that's the only real update for the food forest area. Looking forward to, because we're in the autumn, we get a lot of new growth, and then we can do a chop and drop in the winter after I've done some more sheet mulching. I've been doing a little bit of sheet mulching when I get material and then putting it down. But yeah, hoping for this space to really take off in the next 12 months. I've planted a few trees here. So I've put a fig here. We've got a feijoa there and 2 bamboos to complete this area here. As you can see, this bamboo, this large one, that's been in about 5 years now. It's got all these new shoots, which is fantastic, and we just couldn't bring ourselves to hacking them up to plant them here, so we bought some new ones just to complete the space. So somebody suggested in the comments of the update video from the food forest update video to add biochar to the soil to try to help it to retain moisture, because it gets pretty dry over the summer. And I've got all of this kindling has come from the food forest through chop and drops. Just collect it, and the idea was to use it for kindling for the fire, but I think we're going to have too much, so I could actually try and do a biochar and burn this up and add it to the sheet mulching for this year. So we'll go through exiting the food forest. We're looking forward to a whole heap of passion fruit next year. Passion fruit's one of my favourites. The passion fruit there. So yeah, there's the bamboo. We'll move quickly through here because I've shown you that in the recent video. So I also made a video on how we're trying to rehydrate our property, and also mentioned the updates that we're going to do, some upgrades if you like. So here's one of the upgrades. I replaced the black barrels with a 600 litre Polymaster tank, and that's all been plumbed up now. So now we have access to water here to fill up our watering cans and water these pot plants here. Also got another access to water on the inside, and I've also plumbed see if I can see that. There we go. Plumbed some pipes so that I can fill, let me see if I can point to it, fill that watering system directly into the system, directly into that watering device, if you like. Save a bit of time. I haven't fed the chickens their mealworms this morning. I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the video. What else? This is the only wicking bed that survived being punctured by the rocks, unfortunately. Just used a plastic that, and maybe a rock that just weren't suitable together, but this one survived. You fill it up here, and within like 3 or 4 weeks, I think, these went from, I'll show you what they would have looked like if we didn't use the wicking bed here. But these capsicums have just taken off, and so yeah, I'll show you what they would have looked like if we didn't have the wicking bed part. Got another fig tree here, so so the idea with the fig tree is once we start getting more fruit, we can just give them straight to the chickens. And actually there's another idea to remove this wattle tree, just because it's very, I think the term is allelopathic. Nothing can really grow underneath it, and replace it with a fig tree that would plant like basically where Wings is right there. And then we'll be able to have the figs just dropping directly onto the ground for the chickens. We've got another passion fruit there. And I've started doing the irrigation for the veggie garden. It's turning into a pretty big job, but I'm making some good progress. I've just been using a rotary hoe to dig some channels. So that comes from the tank here. It will set up a pump there, and it'll come along, and the 1-inch pipe goes directly through the veggie garden, and then it will shoot off, will tee off from each area. You can see here's one here, and then we'll be able to irrigate all of our raised beds with dripper irrigation. And then we'll probably add shade cover on top of our veggie beds. I think that'll help reduce our need to water by, like, instead of every day, every other day. And I think we'll have much better success in growing what we need to grow. I've also got a T section cut off there to water the fruit trees, drip irrigate all the fruit trees, so they should have a better run of it. I've also installed the green tank that can store 1,000 litres, and so the idea will be, once the pump's installed, that I can pump water into this one just to add our water capacity. And yeah, so that's a quick overview of what we're doing. Going to plant some more bamboo and a few other things in the food forest in the coming days, and I'll put videos together of all of the irrigation updates and what's happening in the food forest. But I just wanted to do, well, it's been 12 minutes. I guess that's a quick walkthrough. We're at the end of summer, probably early to mid-autumn now. So usually the property is pretty dry by then. So we're looking forward to things greening up a lot over the winter and spring. But yeah, be a bit of a rigmarole feeding the chickens in this video, so I'll save that for later. But here are our little girls. This is Wings. Because she's got those feathers that sort of stick out at the feet area. So that's Wings. So yeah, all right, thanks everyone. Oh, what I was going to do is show you what the capsicum would have looked like if we didn't have that wicking bed. For the most part, they would look like that. So yeah, the soil, it's just so dry. Anyway, I'm still trying to learn how to keep moisture in the soil to enable it to grow, things to grow more successfully. So we're a work in progress, as is the garden. So we're encouraged when we see things like this capsicum plant that's just exploded with all this new growth. We won't get really good, like a great yield from them in the sense of size, because it's cooling down, but we'll persevere. The other thing I'll show you quickly is the compost area. I'm going to start a new series where I'm going to film the whole compost process, from building it to it becoming soil. So I've started that filming, and this compost has been going really well. I'm just going to test the temperature right now, actually. Got our alpaca manure, which is really helping to supercharge the compost piles. Let's see what we get. It's been getting up to around between 73 and 75 degrees Celsius, which is very hot, and I think maybe a bit too hot, so I've been turning it every 2 or 3 days to try to just cool it down just a touch. So now we're sitting on at 71, 72. But yeah, I'm also going to release tomorrow my first ever compost pile, which is really just sort of documenting the beginning of my composting journey, and essentially the fail that it was not really a fail. It's just I didn't know what I was doing. I learned a whole lot, so you might see that video in your feed in the next day, and that's really just a precursor to doing this new compost pile here. So it's like 8 years later, this is how I'm doing it, kind of thing. So yeah, that's that. So I'll head back out the front. Had a nice sunrise this morning. Alright, that will conclude the video. Thanks again, and I'll see you in another video.